Class, today you study chapter 6 about variables and operators. Of course, when you write C program, you need to know them. The first, when you write C program, you need to know basic C elements, variables and operators. With variables, you understand the way to give the name, and the second, the data type for variables. The next, you should understand the operation when you work with value variables. And the first, the data types. You know, she has four basic data types. You have two groups, integers and real. Okay, you know, character, integer, float, and double. Okay, with the size over here. And besides, she has four modifiers: size, unsize, short, long. You know, with four modifiers, you can combine them with character, integer, float, double to get extended data type, and then you can use the extended data type for declaring the variables. The next one, you should understand the rule for defining the name for identifier. Of course, over here, the name for variables. And firstly, tension. Because C, that's a case sensitive compiler language. So when you write the extension, for example, sum, okay, and sum. So sum is different than sum over here, because now with the sum you have big S or capital S, but over here you have small. So they are different from each other. The next one, you could use a number at the beginning of identifier of variable names. No. And the next one, extension to the length for variables one you want to get. Okay, normally, for example, depending on the compiler, for example, with the compiler balance C++, so only first 31 or 55 characters are used. For example, now we have some legal and illegal names for variables. For example, over here, so they're legal, but you know, over here now you have two same identifiers because from A to R. So there are, when you count, so there are 31 characters from A to R. So when she said now they are the same names. Okay, so when you assign value to the first, that means maybe she assign that value to the second. Okay, so you should pay attention to this. Okay, over here now you have some illegal name for variables, because over here now you have a number 1 at the beginning. Okay, no, you couldn't. And over here you have apostrophe. Over here now it's strong. Over here now you have question mark. Over here now double. That, do you remember double? Okay, that data type of C. Okay, so we couldn't use it because it resolved. Okay, and with the literal we have integers when you write this, or hexadecimal with or x. Okay, floating point. And characters, you know, with the character extension we can write the character directly, okay, in a couple of single quote, or you can use escape sequence. You know, over here now you have the escape sequence, over here. Okay, and okay, now when you go to scope, you have two scope. One, you use the variables, the first global and the second global. You know, for example, over here now you have small example, and when you declare a variable in the part of declaration, at that time we say we have a global variable, and global variable can be used anywhere in the program. Okay, but when we declare local variable in a function or in the part, okay, or in part or in group of instructions over here, okay, that time we say now is local. Okay, and extension. So when we say is local, that means that it is localized in the group just mentioned. Okay, so over here now it's local over here, so it can be used in the main function. Okay, the same thing for is local over here. And with the operators, you know, when you write C program, you want to use the program to compute the thing we want. Okay, so that time you need to understand. But firstly, you should combine them together to get an expression. Okay, for example, over here now we have an expression. Okay, now when you compare them together, so we have a value for the expression. Okay, now if it's true, so we have 1, and if it's false, so we have 0. And over here you have value for the expression over here too. Okay, so now you should understand the statement. When you write a C program, normally we have a statement, and at the end we have a semicolon. Over here we said we have a simple statement. Okay, and over here we have a new statement. We have new statement over here because we have only a semicolon. Okay, only a semicolon. Okay, but when we have a group of simple statement, at that time we say we have a compound statement. Okay, you know with the compound statement, so we have two braces, open brace and closing brace over here. And inside you can write one or more, okay, statement, simple statement. And with the operator, when you do pay attention to function precedence and their associativity, okay, when they have the same precedence, so at that time you use the associativity for computing. Okay, for example, over here now we compute. Firstly, you can get the multiplication and then addition. Okay, and when they have the same precedence, so we compute it from the left to the right, of course, or from the right to the left, depending on the operator. Okay, so firstly we go to the assignment, so we use the equal sign, okay, to compute and to assign the new value to the variable, or we can use the of and the equal sign. Okay, that means you want to do. Okay, now when you write x plus equal sign 4, that means you want to compute it with x plus 4, and then we assign two variables, so they are the same. They are the same, of course. And we have the arithmetic operators. Okay, multiply, divide, modulo, addition, subtraction. You know, with modulo we can use it for getting the remainder for two integers. Okay, now we have to use x and y. Okay, they must be integer for getting the remainder, so at that time we can use modulo. Okay, with arithmetic expression, so we have some example over here. Okay, we have some bitwise operator with this. Okay, and when you study DLC3, you study it. Okay, and when we study C, you know we can use the bitwise operators. And you know with logical operators, okay, we use not logical AND or logical OR. Okay, what you want to combine to get a bigger expression if you want to compare. Okay, for example, now we say now over here now no. Okay, so instead of writing over here a 2 equal sign 0, so we can use exclamation to say no. Okay, over here. Okay, now we have an example for this. Okay, for example, over here now we have to combine some small expression with a logical operators over here. We want to check if C is a letter or not from A to Z, small a to small z, big A to big Z over here. And if it's yes, so we can bring out. How about this? With relational operator, you don't compare, okay? You don't compare two values, and when we have one, that means it's true, so that we say, okay, it's yes, okay, but if zero is false, or you can special operators plus plus minus minus, that means you want to increment or you want to decrement values, that means minus 1 or plus 1 to the variable, the current variable, okay? So at that time you can put it before variable or after variable, okay? Extension. Okay, with variables and notifications, okay? That means global or local. Okay, so over here now, when you read the example, you can understand the problem, okay? And besides, you have special operator, so you can call it conditional, okay, conditional. So that time you check it, if S is true, okay, so now please look at this, so we say now S is true. So result of the expression is Y, but if it's false, results is Z, okay, so over here now, you know, now non-zero, that means it's true, okay, so the expression is Y, otherwise Z. Okay, so over here you have mux, a mux, okay? Yeah, okay, instead of writing this, so you can write this, okay, the same. With the common expression, so you have two values, two expressions, okay? For example, over here, okay, you know, the first value, no, but the value of the expression is the value 2. Okay, so over here now we have two values, 2 and a plus 1. At that time, a plus 1 is the value of the whole expression. So we can get it and assign it to b. Okay, over here now we have come expression. Okay, come operator, come expression. Okay.